This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason, how's it going? And what do you have on tap for us?
Well, it's going pretty good, and I'm going back to the well for something that a follow up to something we talked about years ago. I guess like a European comic series that I really enjoyed and something I thoroughly recommend that everyone check out. Called the Metabarons by Alejandro Jodorowsky and artist Juan Jimenez. It's like that. That was basically them telling the story of their ultimate warrior who first appeared in Jodorowsky and Mobius's series, The Inkall, as like the ultimate warrior of the universe. It's like just the guy who showed up and he's like the greatest warrior in the universe. He's ready to fight and kill anyone. It's like because he's that good. It's like you fight him is to die. It's like he's just like that badass. And it's like that was fine for that series and all. But then Jodorowsky got to thinking hey, who is this guy? Where did he come from? Why is he? What kind of life did he have to live in order to be the greatest warrior in the entire galaxy? And it was that kind of thinking, and like Jodorowsky having a unique train of thought that has led him to be a beloved cult filmmaker and creator over the decades that led him to give us the Metabarons series that basically told the story of how the like like Othon. It's like the first Metabaron, originally just like a mercenary and soldier for hire. It's like became the first great warrior. It's like and all the crazy stuff that happened to him and his cast. It's like over the decades, and eventually leading up to the current Metabaron, the one who appeared in the Inkall, who basically goes by the name of No Name. The instance that his sense of self has basically been eradicated to the point where he's just the Metabaron. It's like he did not have a proper name and all. He is just the greatest warrior in the galaxy because all of his family had lived this really messed up lives in order to beforehand in order to be regarded as the greatest warriors in the galaxy. And it's in the end of that series, it basically led to him basically declaring war on the galaxy, and that seemed a pretty good place for the series to end. But well, as for a spinoff of the Inkall, the Metabarons was really well acclaimed, sold well, and was generally really well liked by comics fandom. It's hard to, in terms of European comics, it's one of the things I would highly recommend as anyone check out. In fact, while I do like the Metabaron follow-up series on balance overall, I would say that if you haven't read the Metabarons, go read that. It's available in a nice omnibus format, and it's got the level of storytelling is there. Just it's crazy, it's fun. It's Jodorowsky and Jimenez just doing modern myth making on an incredible scale with writing that surprises you. It's in every volume. It's an art that just dazzles on every page. It's great. It's fantastic, and I guess it's probably maybe a spoiler to say that trying to live up to that what it's doing, what the Metabarons did, seems like it'd be a fool's errand. But I think that the Metabaron does kind of succeed in there in its own awkward back asswards way. After these 4 American volumes and 8 European volumes total, because basically where the Metabarons was the story of this generational story of this of the Metabarons clan. The Metabaron, as the title implies, is all about No Name's exploits. After he declared war on the universe, and well, we're basically told that hey, he did that, he survived, but the techno leadership that was ruling it was apparently destroyed, and now ruling over things is the techno pope, who is just just a squirrely evil bastard as you'd expect, running things with preying on the on the blind faith of the universe's like inhabitants, while just like like just doing whatever he wants with the help of his right hand cardinal or like ornate. We're introduced to them in the first volume, um, the uh, the Techno Admiral and the Anti Baron, and the and basically the first volume does not get off to like the best of starts because it's basically all about like the Technopope delegating like a leadership of Marmorola, the sacred planet that has epiphyte, the fuel that like that fosters like interdimensional intergalactic travel, like um it's like to Wilhelm 100, the tech like the it's like the Techno Baron, and him and Wilhelm, like a real like bastard who just like has like these big arms, who he can only move by getting like regular injections of like anti-gravity material epiphyte. Just saying like just thinking, hey, it's like this is a guy, this is going to be a promotion for me, but oh wait, turns out that the guy who was running things before me didn't say that we're actually running out of this fuel that runs the universe. It's basically think of Dune. If someone told like the like the emperor, like, hey, we're running out of spice, man. There's nothing left on Arrakis here. That's basically like what happened, situation he finds himself in. And well, basically figures that, hey, it's like, well, the Meta Baron, it's like, he's like still hanging around here. He's probably got access to this. I got to find some way to kill him. And oh, it turns out that he's aware of the he and his servant Titanus. It's like a squirrely like subservient Igor type person, are both aware of the fact that hey, the Meta Baron was wounded by his by his grandfather Steelhead. So they go in to find the sword that Steelhead used to wound him with, and now they're gonna like take the blood from that sword to to go and make a clone of the Meta Baron in order that will defeat him. They call this the Anti Baron, and it's like there's and it's okay. It's probably worth mentioning right now that while Alejandro Jodorowsky like is the father of the Incal universe, like, and also wrote both the Incal and the Meta Barons, he's only credited as like with the story here. So the actual person who wrote this is one Jerry Friesen, who has some other background in European comics, but nothing that I've read. And it's like, and on one hand, it's like you get the feeling it's one of those situations where like Jodorowsky, wrote a bunch of like detailed notes on cocktail napkins, and that Friesen just looked at this and had to go. It's like, okay, well, let me just go ahead and like do what I can with this. It's like it doesn't. None of these four volumes read like Jodorowsky like wrote them. I mean, yeah, it's got the whole like like techno this and it's like bio paleo shit that. Um, but it really does feel like this is someone else like at the driver's seat here. It's like you don't get like the craziness that you got with the Meta Barons, but Friesen, to his credit, does try to do some different stuff here. It's like with the best thing you can say about like this first volume is that it shows you that like it shows you like a Meta Baron who is just like decided like who is basically like doesn't want to be the greatest fighter in the universe. Someone who is just like who's just been dealt this hand and is trying to deal with it the best he can, regardless of what it brings him. And in this case, hey, you're it's like in order to like deal with this, you're someone like some crazy people like decided to like come up with a clone of yourself that they've raised to adulthood and is being sent to kill you. Like I mean it's interesting, but I can't say that it's really like makes you go like, okay, yeah, the idea of following up on the Meta Barons, it's like with this volume like is a good idea. Like it does have some good art from Valentin Secher, who does employ like a very detailed photorealistic style, but not in a way that feels just like you're just like it like it's just like what am I what am I trying to say here? It's not just like he's tracing like people to like act in like photorealistic ways, but just like he's just trying to like draw characters in detailed ways to have them act out in believable ways on like on the page. It's good photorealistic art that doesn't feel like stilted or like overly trained and all. It's like so it's like I mean it's solid work and also it's like and it's good to see him when he reprises this work in the third volume, like as well when he gets to well relive a certain popular movie series. It's like later on, but we'll get to that in a second. But volume one, like I said, doesn't really inspire confidence for this continuation of the Metabarons, but it does at least give you the idea. Maybe we're going to do something different, and that potential is followed up on with the next book, the Techno Cardinal and the Transhuman. This features art from Nico Henrichon, who is someone who is like I'm definitely familiar with, like from his work on the Noah graphic novel, and also his work for Marvel, like for Marvel on New Mutants, Doctor Strange, and also with Brian K. Vaughan on Pride of Baghdad. It's like I mean, it's always kind of nice when you see like an American artist, like well, I guess Cameron Sean is like a European artist who made the transition to American work, and now he's making a transition back to European work, and it's like it shows that he does some really great detailed impressive stuff that's like detailed yet expressive in a way that kind of reminds me of Hayao Miyazaki's work on Nausicaa the Valley of Wind. Only it's like it's like a lot more violent, a lot more ribald and explicit in its sexuality as well. And even and with volume two though, it's like it also gets us more into the efforts of the Technopope to try and find a way to salvage rule the galaxy, as he finds out that it's slowly contracting, because it turns out that this fuel, the epipite, well, it turns out that it's not just fuel; it's actually like kind of the building blocks of the universe itself. That as people are trying to use it, it runs out on Marmola, and it's also like slowly resulting in a contraction of the universe itself. So, so the Technopope is trying to figure out just how do we deal with this, and Ornate, his right hand man, decides to like agrees to help him out trying to find a way here, like assuming that he is made like a techno cardinal, and which always happens, and he's castrated as a result because that's what they do for technopopes. And also like he's also has to deal with this like artificial individual known as a Simac, which is like I said, artificial create like being that is like humanoid in nature, but is also just like like looking out for its own best interests as well. And as this is going on, like the Metabaron, well, this is where things get interesting because the Metabaron like realizes like the universe is coming to an end, and he realizes like what have I done with my life? What am I supposed to do now? And so he decides, hey, I'm just going to try and be human now. I'm going to try and like open myself up to human sensation. So he reverts his like all the processes that have led to his like like so like pseudo immortality, so that he's now able to like to feel like human emotions and all, like live as humans do. And so what does he do? Well, this is a European graphic novel, so he decides to like fuck as many prostitutes as he wants. Like he just says like, world's gonna end. I mean, universe is gonna end. So I'm just gonna have it go down like fucking as I want. And well, Ornate finds out about this because like Ornate feels that hey, like the Metabaron, like as like one of the guardians of Marmola, if like may be able to figure out just how to save this universe. And because the thing is, well, turns out that like that as once Ornate figures out what the Metabaron is up to, just having sex while the universe dies. Well, he figures out, hey, I can use this to my advantage because Ornate is not actually like a man; he's actually a woman. It's like he's just been like pretending to be one in order to rise in the ranks of the Technopope's administration. There's more to that here, but I'm gonna try and like be like not trying to like give out more than that, but like saying that Ornate is actually a woman. Well, this is important because well it's like the Metabaron is a very heteronormative series, and like even as like Metabaron like has sex with as many women as he can at the end of in the universe. Well, Ornate does go into that, does try to play into that, and tries to like get on the Metabaron's like good side, if you can see what I'm saying. So, but this is like one of those situations where it's like I I'm willing to accept that like hey like they have sex, they fall in love. It's like and it's like and their entire worldviews are changed because like it's it's a crazy situation, but I kind of like I kind of appreciate that if you're just like, getting me to accept that hey, this is how they are, because I think that trying to actually write a story with the Metabaron actually falling in love risks lots of like awkward dumb dialogue, and would have taken like probably a whole solid volume like in order to make work. And yeah, I can understand like some people will say that like yeah, it's like you're just getting a pass because they didn't want to do the hard work, because yeah, I probably think the hard work probably would have been really dumb. It's like and probably really obvious to get to the point where they're going here. But overall, it's like I'm willing to accept what they're doing here. It's like, and I like the fact that Volume Two does actually try to do a lot of things different with the Metabaron's worldview, in addition to like basically retconning like what a lot of what we know about the cast of the Metabarons and their purpose. Like basically like retconning like Othan's like like formation of like the Metabaron clan to be like it's like a despicable act rather than something that was honest. It's like and it's like and just like showing you just how the universe is like slowly coming apart as a result of his decision, and how No Name, or the Metabaron, basically tries to find a way to like save that, and living it's like and like even departing the universe like as a result. It's like and also like Ornate, basically like like finding out about this and then just following along as the ultimate act as a jilted lover. Like I said, this is where like things like start to get different, where we like try to get see stuff that wasn't done like the same way or in like obvious ways as the original series. And I it's like this is where I kind of felt that hey, like maybe it actually will be worthwhile just following this series to see where it goes. Where it goes in volume 3 is, well, we've all seen Avatar, right? Like either one movie or both movie, and that's basically when No Name basically finds himself. It's like going through the going through a dimensional portal on Mamorla to like to the like home dimension of the of the Epiphyte, and basically like winding up in a place where like it's got a bunch of like warriors who are very suspiciously blue looking, like compared to like say like it's like the characters in James Cameron's like duology so far, and also just like him, like the Metabaron just like slowly getting acclimated like to to life amongst these not Navi like people, and also the Meta Guardianess, who's just like the guardian of all, like of the Epiphyte, like in this dimension. It's like I said, I went through a lot of this like the first volume, just basically feeling that okay, yeah, it's like maybe you didn't intentionally mean to do this, Jerry, but yeah, you're kind of like basically just doing like you're basically doing Avatar with like lots more like headshots, murder, it's like and sex as well. It's like it's not bad, but I but it really takes like the until the next until the back half of the volume, when the Metabaron basically he's been doing his whole like a man of peace, well, okay, he's not really a man of peace, he's just like he's just done killing, and then he basically like has to like re, revert to form. It's like in the back half in order to save save the entire universe, and that's kind of clever, but in the end, it's also like kind of like shows you that that his real strength is in just finding violent solutions to the problems at hand. When it comes to finding like solutions to long term solutions to what he's been doing, well, it's like that's not good. It's like he's just not good with that, and things end about as tragically as you'd expect. But that's still that's still kind of interesting, especially when like this volume ends with him finding out that oh, the one thing he had sworn never to do, well, it's happening, and he's gonna have to deal with it. And and in fact, that one thing you didn't want to have to do, well, it's compounded doubly in the next volume, which is the final volume of this, like of the Metabaron's second cycle, which is what this whole arc is being billed as. Because, well, let's just say that there was originally a volume called the Metabaron second cycle finale, which I looked and thought, holy crap! So this is like the final version of this. So I better go and pick it up. Thinking, hey, is it nicer than to offer it at the same time that the whole paperback collection of the entire the Metabaron second cycle is being offered? That's cool of Humanoids. No, it's not, because if you're like me and you got book 4 when it came out, don't buy the Metabaron's second cycle finale, because it's the same fucking volume. No, it turns out that because basically like this is just a 4 volume series, 8 volumes European, and this like second cycle finale is just them repackaging book 4 on its own terms. Now it's worth noting that book 3 advertised, hey, Assad Rabik was going to illustrate the final volumes, and they're be coming in in 2020. Now you might be able to guess why these volumes didn't come out in 2020, but it basically involves both a a world global pandemic, and also Ribic going back to Marvel to illustrate like the Eternals with Kieran Gillen, which he did quite well, I'll say. And I look forward to seeing whatever he does next. But for whatever reason, Ribic did not do the final volumes of the Metabaron, and that one going to someone who was not expecting like to do this, because, well, this final volume was done by one Pete Woods. Now, Pete Woods is like an American comic book artist who has a long history in the industry. He's done he's worked on Stormwatch in the 90s, Robin in the 90s as well. He did Paul Cornell's Action Comics run. It's like and and also like lots of other Marvel and DC stuff. With the most recent thing I can think of that he did was Iron Man 2020, like for Marvel. It's like a couple years ago. In fact, I covered in podcast a while back. Woods is like a guy who's known for doing solid quality superhero comics art, but he's also like some guy who never kind of broke out in the same way that your Jim Lees, your Todd McFarlane's, your Michael Turner's like broke out in terms of like being able to sell like art based on their names alone. That being said, the art he turns in on this final volume is really impressive, really detailed, really dynamic, and honestly, it's like I'd say I call it career best work from him, like based on what I've seen from him before. And it basically tells you the story of the Metabaron and of the Metabaron spawn. It's like who like from the Meta Guardianess on Memorial in the alternate dimension, and it's like another on this like in the familiar dimension that the storyline is always taking place in, and this but the son that he spawned in the alternate dimension, well, he's someone who is just like really bitter about what his dad has done. So, and he like kills his mom as he escapes his dimension, and tries to come to this dimension in order to like kill his dad and take his place as the it's like as the one true Metabaron. And this it's like and but this volume kind of like really digs deep into like the idea that the Metabaron just doesn't want to be the best fighter in the universe anymore. It's like because when we finally catch up with him, he's just living a unglorious life of a miner, and just is just really just like, content to just not be the best fighter in the universe anymore. And in fact, when his son finally catches up with him to kill him, to kind of psych, he says like, "Fine, kill me and bring an end to the shame and dishonor that is my life." And well, the volume, like his son and the storytellers don't want to let him off that easy. So so it's actually kind of interesting to see just like how he like how the Metabaron tries to adapt to like this legacy that he's left. Someone who is just like who's like spent his life like killing and fighting like any threat that comes his way, and just like realizing that it has not gotten him anywhere. It's like his life is not better for it, and even then, like his decisions to try and like run away from like his legacy and what his sensible destiny have only made his life worse in the process. It's like it's actually like a kind of nice idea to consider for this like for this finale, like for this final volume. And I actually like I said, I was like even though like I don't think that like this like the overall direction for these four volumes has been like like coherent or just like really like solid in terms of like going from like pursuing like one clear idea about like the Metabaron's life being like one that's like good or bad. But I think that this final volume does do a good job of selling you on the idea of like the matter of No Name just like finally trying to like deal with like reckon with the choices he's made and try to find like a way forward. And the thing is, like, I probably would have done this podcast a lot sooner, when volume 4 came out in the Americas. Except the fact that its ending, basically, kind of leaves things pretty wide open as far as like future stories. Like I was kind of expecting like, hey, when are you going to get book 5 and all? It's like, but it seems that this is the end of the Metabaron story for now, and like I said, I don't think this is as good as the original Metabarons series. It doesn't have like that, like the insane level of ideas that Jodorowsky brought brought to every volume, or like the incredible art that Jimenez like gave to each volume as well. But it does do a good job of like trying to like of portraying like its main character as someone who is just like not wanting to be like this position that he was destined to be, and just like trying to find a way around that, and how things his efforts to do that are just like messy, like quasi successful, and also like failure prone as well. I like that, and so I guess like if you like I would say like go ahead and pick up the Metabaron second cycle. It's like either in these 4 hardcover volumes or in like the like 1 volume paperback edition they've that Humanoids is just released. So I don't think that like it's a bad follow up. I mean, yeah, it's messy. It's like it's confused, but it's got consistently good art from all of the artists who contributed to it, and it's got a at least like it has like a an idea of what it wants, No Name's like story to be. I just kind of wish that we had gotten like a more conclusive like wrap up here, even though like because like basically it kind of reads like we're living off with the hope that hey, like third cycle will be coming eventually, maybe solely from Friesen, as Jodorowsky is now like in his 90s, and hey, if he's got ideas for it, cool. But if he just wants like just take spend the rest of his life living like living quiet retirement like that, he's more than earned that as well. So yeah, like the Metabarons, classic work, worthy in any serious comics fans library. The Metabaron, yeah, probably better than you'd expect in terms of like a follow up to to a work of that stature. So there you go, I guess. Well,
So you know what you're going to be talking about next time, sir?
it's like I guess it's like I guess if we can get everyone on board, like, we're gonna do Void Rivals next time?
I think that that's a great idea, Jason.
Yeah, because from one fictional universe to the new fictional universe, or at least what they're saying is like the new hotness fictional universe.
Yep, indeed. So, yeah, well, we'll have to see what tale they weave all around this entire fictional universe. So,
Based
it's
on toys and all. Yeah.
based on toys, yes. Based on a franchise, yes.
Multiple
But maybe
franchises.
maybe interjected with some new fresh things, who knows. So that's
This
cool.
is true.
All right, cool. Well, sounds good, and we'll catch you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
Laters, everyone.